So, boys, I hate to start things off on a somber note here tonight. Usually, we save filling the boot of remembrance for a little ways into the show once we've all caught up a little bit. But the sad news just came down, and honestly, I didn't even have the heart or the strength to ask for a vote on this one. So I hope y'all will let it slide just this once. This one stings. I had friends and family members texting me, calling me, knowing that I was going to struggle with the news, and it's just been a rough stretch here to say the least. So, in fact, it's just so rough. I'm going to be kind of candid with both y'all, and the people out there. Try to be kind of transparent with everyone after all this time. I'm still a little bit in shock at the news, so please bear with me. I was trying to kind of rehearse this and get through it earlier, and it didn't go so great. So it's what friends do. I actually reached out to the doctor to say a few words for me tonight before we fill the boot of remembrance. And he's been gracious enough to prepare something. So doctor, if you don't mind, I'd just assume hand it over to you, and I'll just try to keep it together as best I can. I'm sorry, guys.
Very well. For our departed friend, a eulogy. Oh, Steel Reserve 211 high gravity malt liquor. How often did I awaken to the sounds of birdsong and the bright colors of noonday? Literally at noon, because you had so befouled my head that I couldn't begin to move prior to that hour. We've been on so many adventures together, or at least it seems that way. My memory is very foggy where there aren't outright gaps, all of them caused by your potent nectar. Oh, Steel Reserve, Steel Reserve. Some failed to understand your lore, but I knew of your virtues. Plentiful, like the plains buffalo before the coming of the white man. Shamefully low priced, also like the plains buffalo before the coming of the white man. And with the ability to rapidly spike one's blood alcohol content into a region free of self-pity, recrimination, and shame. Those would come later. However, I would be remiss if I did not mention Steel Reserve that you did share some characteristics with the fictional beverage Strupo. It could often cause conditions like ocular hallucination and wandering mouth. But these were good times. How many errant encounters did you cause on dating websites and at Walgreens? However, you often provided answers to many things that seem mysterious, like, why are my car keys in the washing machine? Why is my lighter in my shoes? And where are my shoes? Now that you've been removed from the shelves of dingy convenient marts across the land, I'm afraid that there are certain things that are no more. No more will it seem like a good idea at 3 a.m. for me to begin the 9-hour extended cut of Lord of the Rings: Return of the King. No longer will it seem like a good idea to call old girlfriends in the wee hours. No longer will there be tense arguments with a potted palm in the lobby of a Fairfield Inn that ends with at least one party soaked in urine. To quote Ecclesiastes, some say that the race is not to the swift nor the battle to the strong, but to he who wakes up without stains of dubious origin on his personage. Still we dance the dance, my friend. No longer will I write ditties to your acclaim, such as, it is said that the yellow rose of Texas bests the bells of Tennessee. But after 4 Blackberry Steel Reserves, the yellow rose of Shreveport was good enough for me. We dance the dance.
That was beautiful.
Fine companion. We commit your high gravity to the ground, ashes to ashes, something to something. Amen.
First of all, doctor, that was beautiful.
I need a minute. Okay, all right.
Nobody spent more time on the steel pony riding through the flaming gates of hell than drinking Steel Reserves and you and me together. It first bursted on the market in 1994, and we never looked back. The 211 mark, based on the medieval symbol for steel, appeared only on cans of Steel Reserve High Gravity Lager. I may not or may have at one point in the early 2000s gotten the 211 symbol tattooed somewhere on my body, very privately, perhaps within my no square, perhaps. But no, you shall not quench our thirst with your bitter, harsh, yet highly intoxicating, lustful drips any longer. Now I can't help but wonder what it was all for. I don't know. You made a beautiful quote earlier, Doctor. I'm reminded now of Mark Twain. I think he said something like, I go to heaven for the climate, I go to hell for the company. And my God, me and Steel Reserve went through bouts of adventures in the pits of hell for well over 2 decades. And I'm sorry. It's going to be missed. It's going to be missed. Okay.
I hope that my eulogy was appreciated.
I'll be honest, I was expecting a little more effort, but you did really good, Doctor.
Personally, I think you saved the line. I think they're going to bring it back because of that.
I'm teasing, Doctor. That was God. If someone would give half a speech at that at my funeral, I'll be shocked from beyond the grave. That was beautiful, gorgeous.
Thank you.
You're like a tipsy Walt Whitman.
What was that lyric that you wrote about the bells of Shreveport? Can I hear that again?
It's a poem. Some say that the yellow rose of Texas bests the bells of Tennessee. You're familiar with the song, The Yellow Rose of Texas, of course.
Yes.
But after 3 or 4 Blackberry Steel Reserves, I met the Yellow Rose of Shreveport, and she was good enough for me.
I dig it.
Well, when I heard the news, you can imagine I raced out to my local convenience stores. I will admit, since Cody made me betray my lifetime lover and switched me into the dangerous world and seductive world of IPAs, I haven't gone to my Steel Mistress as much as I used to. So I spent a good part of this afternoon scouring local convenience stores. Actually, forgot to pick up my kids from school, but these are disappearing. My kids will be found someday, and I think we actually got a lead on them. I think I know where they are. I should be getting a text here soon. But I found maybe the last remaining little pocket of my shiny little friends, and so many good times. Probably none that we want to air publicly here on the show, Doctor, but so many goddamn good memories fueled by Steel Reserve. And yeah, the news just came down. The bastards up at the top don't think it's worthy of being on shelves anymore. And while I didn't buy it, it was never far from my heart. And like we do when something leaves our lives that has a significant importance.
Oh my God, a Steel Reserve booting.
I knew this day would come.
Oh dear God.
No, I've actually been drinking the can as you did your poem, so I'm not going to be chugging an entire Steel Reserve.
That much looks dangerous.
But it's a shoe of remembrance. It's like a claw. It's a clog of remembrance.
A booty.
It's a clog of remembrance. So now, by chugging the boot of remembrance, as we have way too many times here on the show, I will be releasing Steel Reserve High Gravity Malt Liquor from Purgatory. It's no longer at 7-Eleven. It's no longer floating, confused and lost above, which that serves it right. How many times it left us floating, confused and lost. And I thought for sure in your poem, Doctor, you're going to mention how many mornings I woke up just laying on top of my mailbox.
I tried to leave you out of this.
I appreciate that. But by me chugging this, it will go to the land of all those other great things that have gotten us fucked up over the years that have disappeared. It'll be playing up in the fields with Zima and Zima. I had to think about it. I'm like, oh wait, no, they still make High Life and Banquet beer. Yeah, this is pretty much the only beer we've ever lost, Doctor.
It is.
So, boys, say a prayer for Steel Reserve, and considering what I'm about to do, say a prayer for me, will you?
And I need you now tonight, and I need you more than ever. And we'll only be making it right, and we'll never be wrong. Cage drinking Steel Reserve.
Good night. Good night, sweet prince.
Nice choice of soundtrack there. I like that.
Yeah, that actually helped a lot, Doctor. Thank you.
That was actually.
What if it's all just a ploy? What if in a few weeks' time on the shelves there's now new Steel Reserve, but it's going to taste horrible? Not that it would be that different from regular Steel Reserve.
I want some credit for this. This brought it back, and I didn't even work for the paper. I memorized the damn thing.
Well, listen, as cigar guys, I know a lot, myself included, a lot of cigar guys collect precious cigars, collectible cigars, limited cigars, and they're like, I'm putting this away for, my daughter's graduation. So in anticipation of one day, my oldest daughter's wedding day, when I sit back after the ceremony and light up a cigar, I will be pulling this Steel Reserve Blue Raz out of a cooler. By then it'll probably be, 15, 16 years old if I'm lucky. And I will share this with my son-in-law's dad. I'll be like, I have a little moment for us to share. And if he agrees to drink this with me, I'll know that we just got in bed with a really shady family.
Also, by then it would just be still vinegar.
Well, let it be. Let it be.
Malt vinegar.
Do you guys want me to fill the boot with this and drink it? I'll do it.
No, you need to save it.
Okay.
But not for 15 years.
15 minutes.
I was going to say,
for all we know, it has a shelf life that could outlast the human race.
that's true. I'll get to that later. All right, boys. Well, thank you, listeners. I'm sorry to start the show on such a downer. Geez. As America's number one, frick America, as the world's number one cigar, beer, and film party podcast, you come to us for the good times. You come to us for the party. And I promise we're going to turn this around right now. No more talking about malt liquor. No more talking about my no-no square. It is time to welcome everyone to the Tuesday Night Cigar Club, episode 144.
144?
Boys, our reserve here in the corner of No Hope is still strong as steel, and it shall remain that way for at least another 1 or 2 episodes.
I get up, go to work, get drunk, go to sleep. I get